Yo, men, we took 2 winning trades on Friday, 2 partial wins on EU and NQ. So I'm about to break down exactly why I did take these trades and why I pulled out early. As obviously, normally I hold to a fixed ones 3 risk reward set and forget, mate. However, we're going to break these 2 trades down for you right now. We're smashing these trade recaps out and we're banging them out. So let's get into this trade. I'm going to have some water first. Holy shit. So let's go. So first trade we're going to look at is the NQ trade. So starting on the 4-hour time frame, let's just hit a little replay on this bitch. We're looking at the 4-hour time frame first. Obviously, this was both of these trades were taken on the full Mac model. Okay, so first of all, we're looking at the most recent fractal break of structure on the 4-hour time frame. We most recently broke above this fractal high right here, meaning that I'm going to be bullish on the day. So the first thing I need to do is come down to the 5-minute time frame and mark out my session times, which is going to be midnight, 8 a.m. and then 2:30 p.m. for NQ. And due to the fact that I was bullish, we're just waiting for a sweep of previous session lows. As you can see, I've got Asian lows marked out right here. So we'll kind of just skip through and we get that sweep of Asian lows. And we also get the first bullish candles. So we're going to draw the fake out zone from the previous session high, current session low, and we just wait for a tap back in. This candle right here tapped in. So that meant we had the sweep and we had the fake out. So now I just need a break of structure and a retrace and then a fixed 1-3. Boom, banging through it. Okay, so obviously price kind of just chopped around, went lower. Wasn't giving us that break of structure, kind of just waiting. And then boom, we got the break above this fractal high right here, meaning that I had that confirmation. For me now, it is literally just a matter of catching the retrace. So fib tool, lowest point after the sweep, highest point after the break. And then obviously with New York session and NQ being at 2:30, latest trade time is going to be 2 in terms of entry time. Push higher, continue to extend the fib. And then we're just waiting for a tap back in. Price did tap me in right here, actually. Boom. Stops just below the low. And then again, I was targeting a fixed 1-3, but we'll go over the news for the day and why we did look to pull out early. So obviously it looks pretty good straight away as we get tapped into this trade. That's from a different time. So if we look here, we had, first of all, PMI 245 and then also consumer sentiment. Both of these I'm looking to avoid. So PMI at 245, that means I'm going to be looking to take the trade out 15 minutes early. So that means that I need to be taking out at 2:30. So New York session open. So let's just play this trade through. So I knew that obviously we need to be taking out early, whatever happens. Okay, boom, push up. And then obviously we kind of wick up at 2:30. So that meant that I actually ended up getting more than I should have, as I had to take out multiple accounts. I think I ended up getting about 1 risk reward. It was like 1.1, something like this. So boom, that's NQ. Obviously, if I'd held this trade and broke my rules and such, and targeting a fixed 1-3, then I would have won full TP. However, there's a good lesson in this. You need to understand that breaking your rules is never going to get you anywhere. It's never going to get you anywhere. The money is always going to be taken back from you. I see some people who just didn't take out early and they managed to win. They think that that's the most gas thing ever. They think that they're sick. That's the worst thing that you can do when you break your rules and then you get rewarded. That's why trading is so hard, because now they're going to break it again. I guarantee it. So do not break your rules. Take out early. I'm completely fine with missing out on like 1.9 risk to reward because I followed my model. Another time it's going to smash through your SL and you're going to fucking lose, and it's going to happen again and again and again. You're going to get slipped and then you're going to be crying and then you're going to quit. So follow your fucking rules, okay? And EU, exact same thing again happens. So let's get into what I was looking for on EU, but we had the same scenario. This did end up hitting full TP. However, that is completely fine. So 4-hour time frame, finding our bias. Most recent break, boom to the upside. Go back down to the 5-minute, marking out session times. So we're going midnight, 8 a.m., 1 p.m. And then we have Asian lows drawn out right here. So we got a sweep of Asian lows coming into London session open. We also got that first bullish candle. Next step, drawing the fib tool from the previous session high to the current session low. I need to adjust this in order to look for a fake out. And this is why, okay, there we get the fake out. Boom. Taking out traders who got in too early. And then we just needed the break. Price never broke above this high right here. We had a wick created on this fractal, so we couldn't break through it. So we end up coming back lower. And then we still hadn't had the break at this point, still hadn't had the break. And then boom, finally got the break of structure above a fractal high right there. Clear candle body closure above, giving me that confirmation. So fib tool, lowest point after the sweep, highest point after the break, and then we're just looking to catch a retrace. Obviously, limits always on the 0.618, stops below the low, targeting a fixed 1 to 3, just like here. But if we play it through, you can see that we actually do extend the fib and we never get the retrace, which is completely fine. However, coming into New York session open, we're waiting to see if we did get a New York crossover. And we did on the 15-minute. So that gave me that confirmation there. So now all I needed to do was catch a retrace, 0.618, stops below the low, and then targeting a fixed 1 to 3. And this is another example, okay? So I knew that I needed to take this trade out at 2:30. So relatively, I wasn't going to be in this trade for too long, but you never know how much risk reward you could gain in that time. So I will always take the trade, like you can't predict. Sometimes I've had a 3R win in about 5 minutes. So we ended up getting tapped in here at 150. So we knew, okay, we're only going to be in this trade for 40 minutes, and then ended up taking out right here. And it was about 1.2 risk reward, something like this, 1.15. Boom, again, that's free money, mate. I know if I'd held through and I broke my rules, then I would have hit full TP and more. It ran to about 10 risk reward in the end, I think, something like that. It would have stopped out on the trail anyway, but you would have got 3R if you broke your rules. Again, guys who did break the rules got 3 risk reward. Congrats, mate. You're going to fail in trading if you continue to do that. So that's fucking retarded. But yeah, that's pretty much the game over for this video. That's the trades I did take on Friday. Round 1R, 1.1 for NQ, and then around 1.2 for EU.